Why did it take 18 months? Hublot's recruitment of Jungkook, reportedly the most complex in brand history. Was it simply a matter of negotiation logistics, or does Jungkook possess a set of standards so specific that even a Swiss luxury powerhouse had to recalibrate its approach? When Hublot officially unveiled Jungkook of BTS as its global brand ambassador on the 12th of February 2026, the headline alone was enough to shake both the luxury and K-pop industries. But what truly ignited debate was the revelation that the recruitment process lasted a staggering 18 months. 18 months. In the fast-paced world of luxury endorsements where contracts can be signed within weeks and campaigns launched within a quarter, such a timeline is almost unheard of. According to statements referenced by Dive Studios, Hublot CEO Julien Tourneur personally confirmed that negotiations spanned nearly a year and a half. Even more striking, discussions reportedly continued while Jungkook was fulfilling his mandatory military service in South Korea. Industry insiders are now asking the obvious question: why did it take so long? Luxury analysts suggest this was not a routine ambassador agreement. Hublot is known for its meticulous selection process, prioritizing long-term brand alignment over short-term popularity spikes. The brand's philosophy, the art of fusion, emphasizes the blending of tradition and innovation, a balance not easily embodied. For Hublot, the ambassador must represent more than visibility. They must reflect legacy, precision, and forward momentum simultaneously. Jungkook's profile fits that description, but it also complicates it. As one of the most globally recognized Korean artists, his endorsement carries significant cross-market implications. Europe, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and North America all respond to his influence differently. Aligning global campaign schedules, military service timelines, group activities, and solo branding likely required layered negotiations involving multiple stakeholders. Some fashion executives speculate that exclusivity clauses may have played a role. Jungkook has previously worked with major global houses, and luxury brands often enforce strict category boundaries. Ensuring that Hublot's identity remained distinct within his broader portfolio could have demanded additional contractual precision. There is also the question of symbolism. Hublot served as the official timekeeper for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, an event where Jungkook delivered a globally broadcast performance of Dreamers. For many observers, that moment represented the first visible intersection between Jungkook and the brand's global stage presence. Was that performance the catalyst, or did Hublot begin monitoring him long before? The official launch event in Seoul added another layer of gravity. Held at an exclusive venue in Gangnam and attended by over 300 carefully selected guests, including international journalists, content creators, and fashion figures, the event signaled that this partnership was not an experiment, it was a statement. More notably, Jungkook became Hublot's first Korean global ambassador. For a Swiss maison rooted in European watchmaking heritage, this decision represents strategic expansion into Asia's luxury market through a cultural icon rather than a traditional athlete or Western celebrity. So, was the 8-month process purely logistical? Unlikely. Brand strategists argue that such an extended negotiation often indicates a deeper structural alignment, campaign planning beyond a single season, multi-year storytelling arcs, and perhaps co-creative input from the ambassador himself. Jungkook's reputation for hands-on involvement in music production and visual direction may have influenced the terms of engagement. If creative control or conceptual input was part of the discussion, that alone could lengthen timelines. And then there is the human factor. Despite his global stature, Jungkook is widely regarded for careful decision-making. Those close to his career trajectory often note that he rarely attaches his name to projects without full confidence in their authenticity. In that context, 18 months may not signal complication, but intention. Fans have interpreted the timeline as proof of Hublot's seriousness. Luxury communities, meanwhile, see it as evidence that the brand was willing to invest patience to secure a partnership it deemed transformative. Both interpretations converge on one conclusion: this was not rushed. The watch model spotlighted in the collaboration, the Big Bang Original Unico, reintroduced in January 2026, symbolizes reinvention of a classic design. That parallel has not gone unnoticed. Jungkook stands at a similar juncture, transitioning from group-focused global dominance toward a more expansive individual presence, all while BTS prepares for reunion activities in Seoul this March. 18 months may sound excessive in ordinary business terms. But in the realm of heritage luxury, where legacy spans centuries and brand identity is guarded with surgical precision, it may represent caution, respect, and calculated vision. The lingering question remains: was Hublot negotiating with an artist or aligning with a cultural era? Perhaps the duration itself is the answer. If the duration was the answer, then the silence throughout those 18 months may have been just as strategic as the final announcement. Luxury insiders quietly note that extended negotiations often signal more than contractual back and forth, they indicate calibration. When a heritage house like Hublot commits to a global ambassador, especially one entering as the first Korean face of the brand, the decision reverberates far beyond marketing. It influences regional expansion, retail positioning, investor perception, and long-term brand storytelling. In Jungkook's case, the complexity likely multiplied. Representing BTS while cultivating a powerful individual brand requires delicate balance. Every endorsement must harmonize with group identity without overshadowing it. During portions of those 18 months, Jungkook was also fulfilling mandatory military service, a period when public visibility decreases but global anticipation increases. Structuring a luxury rollout around that timeline would demand patience, discretion, and synchronized planning across continents. And then there is scale. Jungkook is not simply a regional celebrity expanding into Europe. He is a global streaming force whose influence triggers measurable economic ripple effects. Luxury analysts often evaluate ambassadors based on conversion potential, the ability to translate cultural attention into tangible market growth. In Southeast Asia, Middle Eastern markets, and increasingly in Western metropolitan hubs, his purchasing influence among younger luxury consumers is widely documented. Securing that influence is not about speed, it is about sustainability. The official launch event in Seoul, attended by over 300 curated guests, was not merely celebratory, it was symbolic positioning. By staging the announcement in Gangnam rather than Geneva, Hublot signaled a strategic pivot. Asia is not an auxiliary market, it is central. And Jungkook stands at the crossroads of that cultural and commercial shift. Observers also question whether creative alignment contributed to the prolonged timeline. Jungkook has built a reputation for precision in visual aesthetics and performance details. If discussions involved campaign direction, artistic narrative, or cross-platform storytelling, rather than a simple endorsement contract, the negotiation would naturally extend. Luxury storytelling unfolds in chapters, not single posts. There is another dimension rarely discussed publicly: risk management. When a global luxury house partners with a megastar whose visibility spans millions of daily digital impressions, reputational alignment must be flawless. Background vetting, long-term projections, and crisis scenario planning likely formed part of the internal process. For a Swiss maison rooted in centuries-old craftsmanship, one misaligned collaboration can dilute brand heritage.